Hi, and welcome back to the Sunday Scaries. It's Dora here. Now, any form of creative expression is subject to some form of critical feedback. For example, some of my favorite artists like Beyoncé or James Baldwin have been under the analyzing eye of the harshest critics. Two creative forces in their own right who've contributed many honorable pieces to the world, and yet we're able to filter through the helpful feedback and not so helpful reviews in order to grow as individuals and also stay true to who they are. But even if you aren't a famous musician or writer, feedback is a normal part of life. When you're young, you get graded on papers and tests, and if you've ever played a sport, you know what it's like to have a coach to tell you what to do or what to fix. Feedback can be super straightforward, impersonal, and simple to follow. But feedback isn't always easy to receive, and occasionally, I find it especially stressful in my day-to-day work life. For example, and I'm about to get real candid here, but each episode I write of Sunday Scaries involves a creative feedback process from my coworkers and bosses. I wish I could say I sit down at my desk and naturally churn out brilliant pieces of work on the first try, but it doesn't happen quite in that way. I need help. I need different perspectives to tell me when something could be clearer or if there's a way to make these episodes more helpful to the people who listen. And even though I know that, and I know that I want feedback and I find it extremely helpful, my initial reaction doesn't always reflect what I know to be true. To be honest, sometimes I feel hurt or misunderstood. And sometimes when I'm expecting feedback, especially on a Sunday, I feel anxious or defensive. If I know I have some notes on a draft coming in, I'll be on guard, stressing over having to explain myself. Feelings like these can sometimes make it really hard to absorb or think clearly about what the feedback I'm receiving actually means. And when you're totally defensive about hearing what others have to say about you or your work, it's possible to self-sabotage your growth. You enter into the work week feeling on high alert, muscles tense and sored out. This approach can result in unnecessary tension. And this is not to say that you should grin and bear someone insulting you or knocking you. I'm talking about ignoring helpful feedback simply because you're uncomfortable with it. And you can tell if feedback is helpful by asking yourself, is this feedback only serving this individual or does it serve a larger purpose? Is there a truth to their point of view? Or is this feedback empowering or disempowering? If it's the latter, then it may not be constructive feedback. And if you find yourself encountering this, try to take a deep breath and stay centered. Ask questions to the person giving you that feedback and repeat what you've heard. This can help you establish clarity and remember that situations like these can be an opportunity to get on the same page with someone. And of course, there's also positive feedback, which is great to hear. Because, let's be honest, it's nice being complimented. But positive feedback often reinforces what you're comfortable with about yourself and your work. And if we get too resistant to critiques, it can make it challenging to grow and develop the talent that we have. Challenging to learn, grow, improve, and connect with people, all of which are essential things that we strive for in life. And as a wise person somewhere once said, nothing grows in our comfort zone. When I open up a Google Doc or a Word doc or see an email from a colleague suggesting I do something, instead of seizing up, I try my best to still my thoughts and ground myself in the present moment. Then I take some time to reflect on a few questions. What's arising in my mind and body in this moment? What feelings, thoughts, or sensations are present? Maybe it's anxiety, sadness, anger, self-consciousness, insecurity. What are they here to teach me? Why are they coming up? Have I felt this before? Maybe when I was a child. When and why did they occur back then? Exploring questions like these help me to challenge my defensive mindset. I can break them down and in turn, breaking up the spiraling nature of thoughts like these. I'm then able to examine the feedback in a way that's slightly more removed, less personal, And from there, I can move forward in a way that feels healthy and productive. So let's take a few deep breaths and explore what feelings may arise in these moments. So wherever you are, just begin to settle in and get comfortable. As comfortable as you can be. And inviting a few deep breaths into the body. Breathing in and breathing out. Softening the jaw and relaxing the shoulders. And the eyes can be open or closed. And as best as you can, letting go of any tension. Taking a moment here to reflect on what is your relationship with receiving feedback? What thoughts and feelings arise when we're being asked to change something or do something differently? Where does the mind go to? And what feelings are present? And just noticing what's here, what's happening, and staying connected to the breath. And then when you're ready, slowly and gently opening your eyes. Just taking a moment here just to reflect on what came up for you in this practice. Now, we all have the capacity to let feedback get us down, especially during situations where we feel like our sense of self or confidence has been challenged. Everyone does this, and it's important to know how to show up and work through it. Feedback from others is an invitation for growth. It can help you understand your weaknesses and move closer towards the type of person that you value. I often return to the concept of having a beginner's mind. This means approaching each moment without preconceived notions, as if it's the first time you're experiencing something. When using this approach, the observations of others feel like something totally new. So, just something to think about as we enter this new week ahead. And as always, thank you so much for being here and taking this time for yourself. I'll see you back here next week where we'll talk about the power of empathetic joy and how it can help us to cultivate good feelings into our days, even the scary ones. Take care, and I'll see you then.